Hello and good morning. It's Heather and Phil, and we are here today at the Pinckney Island National Wildlife Refuge. This is in South Carolina, and it's a small island right next to Hilton Head Island, where we're going to be spending the next couple of days. But before we're even going on to Hilton Head, we are here this morning checking out this wildlife refuge, and Heather is using the 200 to 500 and Z50, and I've got a Z50, a 1.4 teleconverter, and a 500 f4. So we're going to hike around on this island for a while and see what we can see. You excited?
Yeah.
Me too. Well, we're hiking along. We've hiked a little ways, haven't really seen much yet, but it's really pretty. There's salt marshes all over the place. There's supposed to be a few ponds that you can hike to. One of them's called Ibis Pond, which the name alone has me pretty interested. So we're going to continue. Heather's, while I'm vlogging, Heather's in charge of making sure all the cameras don't fall, which is a pretty big job. Well, we finally run across something exciting. There's a wood stork right over here. It's horribly backlit. I tried to get a decent picture and I could fill the frame with it, but it's definitely not going to be a great picture. And I think there are two, I don't know if they're baby wood storks or some other kind of bird in the grass. I don't know. I don't know if those are baby wood storks or something else, but anyway, we're working on it. Here's a couple of wood stork photographs from that first location. This was the first bird that we found, and we had hiked a pretty good ways. And the reason I'm the only one who got pictures of it is because the light was really bad from up on the road. You had to kind of climb down into the marsh to get sun angle pretty well on this bird, and Heather was not about to go climbing down that hill. So I got a couple of photographs of the wood stork with decent sun angle, and we'll see Heather's wood stork picture later. We're here now at a spot called Ibis Pond. The light is terribly, terribly harsh. So it's making photography really tough. Even with perfect sun angle, the light is just a little bit too harsh. But anyway, Ibis Pond is pretty cool. We've seen some common gallinule. I think I saw a yellow-rumped warbler and a mockingbird and a few other things. So we're going to keep pressing on. I'm right here by a sign pointing out that there are American alligator here, so you know that makes me happy. So the wood stork photograph, I've never seen one of those back home in Chattanooga, so it was really neat to see those. This is a northern mockingbird. We see them all the time in Chattanooga. In fact, it's Tennessee's state bird, and the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga's mascot is a mockingbird. Here's another bird we see back home. This is a pied-billed grebe. Beautiful and amazingly cute little bird, and I really like the way this photograph came out with the reflection on the water. Had pretty good sun angle, and even though the sun was harsh, some of these photographs came out pretty well relatively early in the morning. Here's another bird that we see back home in Chattanooga. This is a yellow-rumped warbler. We see those in the wintertime at home, as well as you can see them here in South Carolina. And here is a bird that this photo almost looks like it was made in our yard, because we photograph birds on cypress quite often at home, and this bird's on a cypress, but this cypress was growing in the middle of Ibis Pond. We've hiked most of the way around Ibis Pond now, and got a few photographs. What'd you get?
I got a ibis.
You got an ibis?
No, I didn't get an ibis.
Ibis Pond has no ibis.
Yeah, I haven't seen a single ibis. American coot.
Me too.
Lots of American coot, common gallinule, the mockingbird, and a really amazingly cooperative wood stork.
Yeah, we took pictures of a wood stork for quite some time. I don't know if any of mine are sharp. I left my glasses in the car, so I can't really tell. But I think some of them might be. So anyway, let's look at those now, and then Heather and I are going to continue up the path. This is Heather's photograph of a common gallinule. Really beautiful, and we don't see these back home in Chattanooga, but we've seen them in Florida. I guess this is the furthest north we've ever seen a common gallinule, and look at the beautiful reflection in this shot. Here's an American coot. We get these all the time back home. but I thought this shot that Heather made there at Ibis Pond of this American coot was absolutely beautiful. It's really hard to capture their beautiful red eyes, but Heather did a great job of that. And now this is that amazingly cooperative wood stork that we both photographed, and I don't know why, but for whatever reason I was having just a ton of trouble getting it in focus. I did notice that there was a lot of dust on the rear element of my teleconverter, but Heather didn't have any trouble getting it in focus. That previous shot was Heather's shot, and this shot right here is Heather's as well. Just a amazingly beautiful bird, and one that we don't see back home, and I thought Heather did a fantastic job making these photographs. This was really the only photograph that I made of it that I was happy with at all. This is 700 millimeters, and I was pretty close. I stopped it down to f8 and managed to finally get it in focus, but I really struggled on this one. We finally made it all the way back to Osprey Pond. While we were on the way, we saw a bald eagle for just a moment, so that was kind of cool. Now we're going to hike in that way to Osprey Pond. Here is Heather's photograph of this beautiful male eastern bluebird that was taken near Osprey Pond. Now, there were hooded mergansers on the water at Osprey Pond and some other birds, but you can't walk all the way around Osprey Pond, and the sun angle was terrible, so none of the hooded merganser photographs were worth sharing at all. And here's Heather's photograph of the most common bird in Hilton Head, the yellow-rumped warbler. I don't know if that's true, but there sure were a bunch of them there. But they were hard to photograph, but Heather did a nice job. Well, look, there is an osprey, and it even has a fish. But this was not made at Osprey Pond. We were leaving the wildlife refuge and heading to Hilton Head, and there it was on the side of the road. So I stopped, got out, made this picture real quick, and we went on. Well, we have hiked all the way back to the beginning now. The light today was extremely harsh. It was pretty cool though, especially seeing the hooded merganser at the Osprey Pond. Because Heather had never seen hooded merganser before, but the light was just terrible and they were too far away even if the light was good. But it was cool to see them, and we appreciate you coming along with us here to Pinckney National Wildlife Refuge near Hilton Head, South Carolina. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, give us a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.